Good morning, everybody. Too loud? Okay. Yes, so we're going to begin with opening prayers, one time English, one time Tibet. Okay. Page 1 of the prayer book. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Buddhahood. Very beginning. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind.
Todos los seres sensibles, tan ilimitados como el cielo, tomamos refugio en el glorioso y compasivo Lama Bhasmadhara, quien es la personificación del cuerpo, palabra y mente, cualidades y actividades de los Budas de las 10 direcciones y de los 3 tiempos, fuente de las 84,000 categorías.
We take refuge in the kind root Lama and lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Idams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharmadhatus, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Chunchen zawa dan jubar jube barden lama tamba nam gyabzun jiru yedan jinkor jelaso nam la gyabzun jiru sonje jamden de nam la gyabzun jiru tambe chu nam la gyabzun jiru Abe gendu namla jazun jiru Bawo gandro jikyon sume so Yeshi jikendan denpa namla jazun jiru. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path.
Shangchu Nyingpo Jiji Bar Sangye Namla Jasunji Chudan Shangchu Sambayi Tolan Deshin Jasunji Shidar Munji Deji Shangchu Tone Jibadang Shangchu Zembe Labala Dadaran Shinevada Tishin Jola Pendandu Shangchu Semne Gedishin Tishin Dame Labala Rimba Jindu Labaye.
In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings.
Sangye Judan Zoje Jonan La Shangjo Bardo Dane Jasunji Pake Jisoje Bezonanje Ndrola Penke Sanje Ndrola.
May all mother sentient beings, boundless of the sky, have happiness in the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Refuge of all sentient beings without exception, divine subjugator of terrifying Maras together with their hosts of demons, the one who understands all realities without exception exactly as they are, transcendent conqueror together with your disciples, please come here to this place.
Manzara Samanza, Banzara Samanza, Banzara Samanza, Malu Sanjang, Gunjurjan, Dude Ponje Mezen Junzela, Muna Malu Jishin Janjurve, Chumden Korch, Ninde Jesus. Shabda Bardisa Soha.
The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Meru, the supreme mountain, the 4 continents, and the sun and moon. As a Buddha field, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddhahood. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. Sashi Puja Joshin Meto Tran Rira Lenshin Dite Genbadi Sanje Shinla Mekte Durwaye Drogunanda Shinde Jubai Jo Chantarwa Dan Jujin Shaba Dan Jesu Liran Korshin Zoai
Kewa junze dange jeza ba tamje zobe shanju chemo.
Page 11. Namo, to the Lama of utterly pure appearance and existence, I offer the fundamental ground of appearance and existence. I supplicate you to thoroughly liberate the three realms. Please grant your blessings and overturn the depths of samsara. Sublime Master, wish-fulfilling jewel, crown ornament, the inconceivable, inexpressible mind of the victorious ones, the one endowed with the five wisdoms of omniscience, gracious one, the embodiment of love, precious protector of beings, I supplicate you from within the essence of mind. Please grant your blessings from within the innate nature. Please bless me that I may realize the Dharmakaya that is beyond intellect, this primordially unborn, completely pure mind. Transcendent conqueror, the one thus gone, foe destroyer of afflictive emotions, completely perfected Buddha, endowed with logic and virtue, the one gone to bliss, knower of the world, captain, tamer of beings, the unexcelled teachers of gods and men. I respectfully prostrate, completely touching my head to the stainless feet of the unequaled Shakya king. At the time of your birth, leader of two-legged beings, taking 7 steps on this great earth, you proclaimed, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise, even then I prostrate. Possessing a body of complete purity, your sublime form is excellent. An ocean of primordial wisdom, you are like a golden mountain. The one whose renown is evident throughout the three worlds, protector of supreme attainment, to you I prostrate. To you who are endowed with the supreme marks, whose face is like an immaculate moon, to you, the one with the complexion like gold, I prostrate. A flawless one such as you among the three levels of existence is most exquisite. Unparalleled, omniscient one, to you I prostrate. Supreme among humans, captain of those to be tamed, the one thus gone who severs the all-binding fetters, who with senses pacified is utterly pacified and skilled in peace. To that one, the one who dwelled at Shravasti, I prostrate. Refuge endowed with great compassion, totally omniscient one who indicates the way, ground basis for oceans of merit and qualities, I prostrate to the one thus gone. The pure cause free from attachments, the virtue that liberates from the lower realms, the altogether supreme ultimate truth, to the pacifying Dharma I prostrate. Having been liberated, they also reveal the path to liberation, thoroughly respectful of the three higher trainings. They are a field of sublime qualities. To the Sangha, I also prostrate. And then turn back to page 9.
Namo Nansi Namdagi Lama La Nansi Shiryin Sun Chubanbo Kamsan Yongzhu De Zuwan De Kurwa Tongzhu Zi Shinji La Ye Yi Yi Norwa Zoge Jian Masan Jumi Jarwe To Qinbei Yeshi Nga Dan Den Zi Dan Yin Ka Ri Jin Zhuwa Jum Zi Rinpo Je Da Sim Yi Ji Ngang Ne Zorwan De Chu Ni Ji Ngang De Xin Ji Lo Zem Du Ne Ji Me Nam Dan De Lun De Shu Ge Do Ba Xin Ji Lo Jom Den De Ti Shim Shik Tra Jum Ba Yang Tak Bar Zo Be San Ji Rik Ba Dan Shab Se Den Ba De Chik Ba Ji Den Chen Ba Ji Wen Dor Wa Ka Lo Jir Wa La Na Me Ba La Dan Me Nam Ji Tom Ba Nyam Me Sha Ji Jar Bo Shab Ji Dor Trima me balango rabdo do de gube chanza lo kanze kanyi zo chudan ze sajin de la kumba du worne ngane ji ten de nan choji son de zen ke ba chulai chanza lo Namda kunga chodo su sangwa Yeshi janzo serje lombo yanda Chakpa jiten suna lange wa Ngombo choni shul janza lo Tsencho tenpa chemin davi ja Sendong trawa yeshula janza lo Dudra chunda zipa sunanze nyame jen chula chanza lo Mechon dorwa kalo junzi jen kunjur chimwa junzi tingshin she Ombo shishin yirshi jilanki nye yu shuba dala chanza lo Gombo tuje chetenba tamchin chenba domba Ozuna yoten jansu shi tishin shewa janzalo Tabayan duja charvi je geving son le truishin Jidu todan chojur wa shijur chulai chansalo Jorne chove lamyon don laba tala rabduk Shingi tamba ten shingendu layan chansalo
Page 1515. I prostrate to the youthful Manjushri, to those in the worlds of the 10 directions, however many there are, all the lions among humans who appear during the 3 times. To all of them without exception, I pay homage with respectful body, speech, and mind. The force of my aspiration prayer for excellent conduct brings all the victorious ones directly to mind. Bowing down with bodies as numerous as atoms in the realms, I prostrate to all the victorious ones. In a single atom there are Buddhas as numerous as atoms, each residing in the midst of their sons and daughters. Like that, I imagine the whole Dharmadhatu completely filled with victorious ones. To those with oceans of inexhaustible praiseworthy qualities, with sounds containing oceans of tones of melodic speech, I express the qualities of all the victorious ones. I praise all the Sagatas. With the finest flowers, the finest garland, music, ointments, supreme parasols, supreme lamps, and the finest incense, I make offerings to the victorious ones. With the finest cloth, supreme scents, and fine powders equal to Mount Meru, all displayed in supreme and magnificent ways, I make offerings to those victorious ones. With vast and unsurpassable offerings, I venerate all the victorious ones. Through the power of faith and excellent conduct, I prostrate and offer to the victorious ones. Whatever negative actions I have performed with body, speech, and also mind, overpowered by desire, aggression, and stupidity, I confess each and every one of them. I rejoice in everyone's merit, the victorious ones of the 10 directions, the Bodhisattvas, the Pratyeka Buddhas, those in training, those beyond training, and all beings. I request the protectors, the lamps of the worlds of the 10 directions, who, passing through the stages of awakening, attain Buddhahood beyond attachment, to turn the unsurpassable Dharma wheel. I supplicate with my palms joined together those who intend to demonstrate nirvana, to remain for kalpas as numerous as atoms in the realms, for the welfare and happiness of all beings. I dedicate whatever slight virtues accumulated through prostrating, offering, confessing, rejoicing, requesting, and supplicating to enlightenment.
Om Papan Jambara Jana Jawala Jansalo Shine Sada Jojunjik Anatu Son Shiba Meye Senge Gundage Malu Tada Tanji Lalu Dangaye Tangwe Chanji Sombo jube molam toda ge jarwa tamchi ye ngozon de yenge dornye lura de baye jarwa kunla ra de chansa lo dorje den dornye sanje na sanje seje na juba da chuje ye na malu Padamji jarwa dagi kanwa mota dang aba mezi janzo nayanji yanlai janzo ragunji jarwa gunji yoden raju jindeva shiva tamji dagi do meto tamba dan sinye namda shiva tongjo marmin jodon dubu tamba ye jarwa dada lane jubar je naza tamba namdan junjo dan jime burma rira nyamba dan kuban jiba babin jogun je jarwa dada layon jubar choba kana lame jache wa dada jarwa tamje layong Sombo jula tevi topda ki jarwa kunla chansaran chupara jendo cha chedan temo wang lu dan adan te jin yi ji jang te pa da ki jin pa jin chi wa da da tam ji so so ya ju ju jarwa kunla san je se ran ja nam dan lo dan me lo dan Androa Gunji Sunan Kala Yanda Da Gunji Jesu Taye Kanan Chujun Jiden Drama Da Janjo Rambara Sanji Maja Nyingombo Da Da Ge Tamji Lan Kolo Lan Mibara Korwa Kor Nyangen Da Da Kangji Da Da Lan Roa Kula Benjim Devi Karwa Shingi Durni Dagi Tamo Rabja Sorwa Ji Jan Sarwa Dan Jujin Shaba Dan Jisu Yiran Gorshin Sorwa Kyawa Junze Dagi Jisa Tamji Zobe Janjo Chenpo.
Page 16. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the two vehicles and their combination according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings.
O Sanchen Namji Samba Tang Loyi Chera Jita Wa Chechun Tumon Tebaye Chujin Korlo Gordo So Thank you so much, everyone. Good morning. People here and beyond this our beautiful temple. We have many people online today joining us. Of course, it's auspicious day. Every day is auspicious day, so today is special auspicious day. We all know that. And for me, it's really important to be here and share these texts or teaching. Somehow in the Tibet we sometimes call Jian and Patrok Nachi. How goes on?
the instructions of how to take negative circumstances as our friend.
Or some negative circumstances lead positive outcomes. Due to the COVID, we think it's a bad thing. Due to that, I have to move to Florida, wonderful state, open, green air, sun, and rain, and especially people here. So not only our center director and spiritual leader are my friend but also our Sangha here. So warmly invited me and also led me to hear these texts. And this is maybe the first time I'm going to finish these texts. I studied these texts many times at different centers and different my friends' centers, but somehow it didn't really went through all the way to end of the text. So somehow, maybe these 4 days we can, of course, it's important. Many people mentioned that we should do some practice as well. That is important. And also, I think we should not underestimate these daily chantings and open chantings. That is sort of really main practice, and that's why sometimes we hear that preliminary practices are profounder than the main practice, but that we don't really know what does main practice mean. But without in preliminary practice, everything here, generating bodhicitta, thinking refuge, to visualization and purification, and the seventh branch of the accumulating merit and so forth. So we all did that in a very short amount of time. Why we need chanting all the time? I think now sort of we know we are get long enough here that why this chanting and these sadhana, larger sadhanas, short prayers and so forth, how important it is, because some of us maybe are distracted, maybe good practitioners may know the steps of what should take, but these set of prayers that lead us what is first step and need to take, and then second and third step to what we need should be done. So it's a little bit without the guidance of these texts, it's a little bit difficult to train our mind. And if you have better idea to add some more lines, and if you're a good poet and your language skill is good, then maybe that's just allowed. It's always you can add your personal prayers and wishes and so forth. And of course, the very beginning, I started with this. Maybe my teaching is, or the purpose of my teaching is not necessarily what you want to hear. I need to just teach or hear a message that what text says, rather than maybe how much we can get from here our commercially done these days many teachings. That's if you are not happy with that, I cannot kind of compromise that part. Otherwise, I'm trying to sharing what I think what is important. It's maybe traditionally these texts very profound teaching, therefore restricted, and maybe it's there is some restrictions and maybe consequences may need to take. But some of my root gurus are very openly teach Dzogchen teachings, so for me that is most beneficial in my life and my practice. So that's why I thought it's sharing what I have is sometimes maybe benefit others. So that's why I try to emphasize how important this text is, and luckily we had time due to our COVID and so forth here, nice place with nice environment and people and so forth, and I'm trying to my best to teach as much as I can, and you maybe benefit from that. So now we know each other 3 years. Some are online, you couldn't get here, but probably follow many weekend teachings. So this is 4 days teaching, and of course we need to start from somewhere, and I don't remember exactly where we stopped the verse. But before that, maybe let me chant my lineage prayer, and then we can go through, and then we can read together and so forth. Tuzum zonje dam jijingo redon jingor jamzo chavda gatin sume duje danyin kamsun chuje jarbo shabje bemodo ramame balango rodo de gosum guba chembu kone chan zarshin jabs Jiwane zerab jinjingwa dam jido tokza chembu kone jesu sonde junjin jelab Zado so gomge charzon dawe mengon kazan zamben don rashin zamben sewa sendo sawen rogun megezes Tujinda maguni jiren jiten son jingong jabe zon pema karbo daren daloyen soro jong urjen solen peme dombo zer jarbe nomro ronjo loyen Senzo beye yoden zombawe beman june dalo benzo rejong shinji tengke shi sik bin chen se jin ko ra gong shin ro kun se mo men pa sen ze lo ru kun de nyen de ke dan ye je de ba me le chuin kalan ze ba kan jam bara shun kun de ga e zo gi ju yin ro be ma gar pon zon be sha le son wo zra dong ge tra Ningen mansar lorun jodore Yongjengage parmoda yi jong Kore togarin jinying bongo Yoden gunjong gawe jizart Nyingbo tongse bebe nancherwa Chemme wasere shak Da yi jam Shiya gunsen chola jizidere Chemme wasere yongro to teren Wasere longchen namke nancherwa Jingme lingbe shabla zon de Shiya gunsen chola jizide Chemme wasere yongro to teren Wasere longchen namke nancherwa Jingme lingbe shabla zon de Chidar jarvese pocho ala Nondra chobe oncho shaware Zon pancho dunga rongchong Jingme Chuji Wambu Daye Jong Redon Jambar Shunu Shilale Gombe Don Le Bobe Dorji Tro Longte Chunze Jansonga Mebam Jamyon Nam Jala Ke Janza Yodan Sanje Ku Don Nyam Nayon Garin Sanje Ku Le Sakpin Gong Zavila Mazala Sarva Takson Drove Lona Chula Jo Teneta chu nyendu drubdu hidu kangakapsu yana kulong juya te kechembore te ngazo tanda diki chuju ngazo nyambundun imbati kapsune ta jamro simjine songde kulong don kunju grimpa te teneti ngazo poli na tsikje tön tene Domban dön yondu tik tundate semla shane chevena tene nyamlent monet se chagore tendu machine and exercise.
So when we listen to the Dharma, when we accomplish and practice the Dharma, and when the Dharma is being taught, it is essential that we have a proper motivation. And so earlier, when we were doing the opening prayers, others and so forth, and work for the benefit of all sentient beings. And so when we recite those words, it is taught that we should also try to recollect and feel the meaning, really recollect the meaning as we are reciting those words. That's a saying in Tibetan. And so essentially here, many teachers you have probably heard and have taught the different teachings on how to have a proper motivation. And so beyond that, Khenpo was saying maybe he doesn't need to elaborate upon that.
Tene da ngazo chu sayate chu shi machi na large chu je large song de chu chi skamba bak. So what about chu shin to machi na chu shin to machi na chu je large song de chu chi. If you don't do Dharma accordingly, Dharma will lead you to hell. Nice, yeah. Tendi indu tene tandurna ku chuni shiba jik tang tene ku te chedangji yobares te tenga zo ha kogoya te kechen bores inji meni nyan dene marka gorchi ne tene churong zo la nda che gres ngege shi tabu mare churong zo inji meni nyan goya tige keche tata yo mares yena ku chuni shi shagwa tene res tenge shiat kechen bores.
So in this way, in short, it's important that we, understand the Dharma as it is taught, and so we have to really understand the proper tradition of the Dharma. And so it's not to say that you have to have only this, understanding, but Khenpo is going to explain the Dharma as he understands it to be.
Teindu ta chu drop se du ngone chena migyu tang tanda ji yobares te ko drop goya ke tanda chi teindu nga zo pobe ke nangla tse chima la go na chu sen tse chima 세야지 요나 되니 추세도 drop 거래선 되네 맞아 다추 나를 요래
So when we accomplish the Dharma and practice the Dharma, it's important that we have kind of our focus of practice and then also our kind of purpose for practice. And so Tibetans, it is common to say that you should practice the Dharma not just for this life, but for the benefit of future lifetimes.
근데 다 마음 봐서야 돼 타르바당 탐진진비 공pon사야지 토비아 요바 때실라 샤네 생나서 주드롭세 다 타르바당 탐진진비 공pon사야 돼 토버 해발라 되네 손지 좀 된데 이게 덴바히 스송네 되네 타르바당 탐진진비 공본 톱거나 동ар ngōhi 티 동ar 규트빵 되네 다 타르바사요나 담바시와 냥을데베 컴pon데 톱테 토버샤비 치에도 되게 람냠슬랭거리세다 도처르도 샤웨나 다 된다 티난 두데오레스
So in this way, kind of taking it a step further, not just for future lifetimes, but we should have the goal and the purpose to attain the state of omniscient enlightenment. And so the conquering Buddha, the Bhagavan Buddha, taught the Four Noble Truths, which contain the essence of the Dharma teachings. And these Four Noble Truths are one, first, the truth of recognizing the experience of suffering. The second Noble Truth is being aware that there is a cause of suffering that should be avoided. And then third is the cessation of suffering, understanding that there can be the cessation of suffering. And fourth is the path that leads to the state of nirvana, going beyond suffering. And so essentially, all the Dharma teachings are essentialized within that.
되네 나 타르바탄 탐진집이 컴본 톱 세야데 하코 튼똑치네 쫑탕 쫑le 쫑임바 요된le 요된임바 하코네 되네 톱이야 마토 톱고 삼바 잠지기 타르바세야데 되네 톱이야 메바 되네 추나라 자르보요레 다데 튼 뭐마 다 거야 될라 되는 거죠. 동반이세 다메바세. 다득 하마고지 발등아 좀 걸어봤어야 돼. 유바실라 샤네 아니 주드바이나 난 걸베 나올라. 데데야 마토 걸발레 탈메토 바다. 단도나 걸바 마지 냥엘인데 봐요. 네 전라 마드로바 말람다 주마다고 하코비 거네 되는 주드바이나 되는 짐바테 랑싱게 총으로 손에 되는 등어마 똑야요가 대시거레스.
So the attainment of the state of omniscient enlightenment, if we understand kind of the meaning of what's going on, then we can learn about the faults that we have in our Dharma practice, which prevent us to attain this state. And as we kind of learn about the Dharma and it becomes more clear, we realize that ultimately, until we realize the empty nature of reality and understand the ultimate nature of selflessness, then we are wandering around in cyclic existence. and we are not able to free ourselves from this endless cycle of suffering. And so what we want to do is get beyond the state of suffering to reach nirvana. And so in this state of cyclic existence, though, that we experience, it is like a dream, and it comes about through the grasping and clinging that we have. And so this is the fault that leads us to experience cyclic existence. And so becoming liberated from that is, essentially the essence of the Dharma.
단들나 가서 추치세도 랑게 샘게 꾸롱긴 치르소 야르동 제와 잠게 마인바 퉁어만에 단들나 폭 추탐시 짜와 심에 짜라인 바타 마토지 바르절라 되는 가서 데스 꾸롱군주 아삼보데스 저와 잠지 타와 탐진 준비 컴본사야지 톱톱이요 말에 대인도 대 개천벌에 되는 가족의 결성 남주 낭대야게 나wan들 때사지 짐바트 총으로 마송나 되네 어찌 니마타과 나솔레 칼레나레 사마사나레 가두이나 되네 직바레 마토직 셈 There's yar. Gulon there's yar. Tonya yortina. Tezam jigi tene. Njurwa tap tog mares.
So, when we engage in the Dharma, then, it's really important that we have the right motivation within our own minds. And to really, engage in the Dharma practice until we attain the omniscient state of enlightenment, then it is said that there will be some faults, this, kind of subtle obscurations and so forth that still remain. And so this is because we have, some slight clinging to appearances and the various experiences that we engage in. And so, until this clinging is kind of lessened, there are still some obscurations. And, we have to go around and engage in our daily activities. We go around, we eat, we do our different jobs and so forth. And so if we can, maintain our focus, it's possible that our, motivation can improve and so forth, but we have to be aware of these kind of subtle obscurations.
근데 인도다 너나 냠네 탐치 짜와테 짐바트 총로 당야. 테리. 난 짐바 총로 당 탄 짐바트 잘 성와이나 그 손지 고모톱 사야 돼. 타로타 탐지 짐비 고모톱 사야 돼. 단 짐바 탐지도 잘 왔잖아. 세거 대 인도 데이트 추 드롭네 두그루 잠네 드롭야데 케쳔버스 이나 드롭통 해야데 케쳔버스 나조 레카 카르지 레나 쇼잠네 레바 찍고 많이 봐 레통 해야데 케쳔버로 대 인도 거 로통지 요버레 대 인도 텔라 통노시야데 케쳔버스.
So, in short, the essence of practice is really about lessening and, going beyond our clinging, our self-clinging. And when we get beyond our clinging, our grasping, then that is, then we reach the omniscient state of enlightenment. And so this is really, what we are doing when we are practicing the Dharma. And so it's important that we actually understand the meaning of what we are trying to accomplish. It's not about just like, for example, if we're trying to accomplish an activity, it's not just about the power and the force that we engage to accomplish that activity. It's also about, focusing our efforts so that we understand the purpose. And so here, the, purpose is to get beyond our clinging.
Tene da tangbo ngaso pechan di no man ma song bi ngun la ta jer tong rob cha chu sa ta dang ti gi kodun du dong ningbo karim ba ji da da chomi hida shigri na yang puke la kalbo che la ne ten sior ba tunda chenbo yo na yang lam na ya go yo res ten ti tene nge la go yo ma to yong 추론 속인데 시에게 말했으네. 민게 라고요 말해. 지지나요. 뉴구에나 조지를 때나 가르보치를 내den서 티 된다 되더래서.
So the reason why Khenpo was mentioning this, the essence of the Dharma is not to just, talk about something that you already know. There is a saying in Tibetan that for something that is very important, it should be, we should have certainty. We should have, the utmost certainty and confidence. And so it should be repeated many times. And so, for this reason, Khenpo is repeating this very important essence of the Dharma before he goes into the teaching.
tene da chu karshin do inari nga inari chakwa chaja chenbo inari zoba chenbo oma chenbo kange kapsu ina dan zimba charyak chi tu shiba imba da shisha tene dan zimba tene indu dan donan donga yongs zoba tene jirtong mentung ba kayang yo mare tene chu nga zo drobe kaps te su drop tong manda ga tene yo bare tamato tene ju yang ma te da tongda jigware te indu tene di chu ying zu ge pechan di nong le shi sha wa te donga dang garde ba dang donga da mantung ba dang tene tene yo mare tene te indu nde 추지 봉보동 라지 주자 이게 닝보다고 저 두샤버에서나 되는 만들 바까요. 요 말을.
So, in all the different types of Dharma teachings, whether it is the Dharma of the sutras, the Dharma of secret mantra, the Dharma teachings of Mahamudra, the Great Seal, the Dharma teachings of the Great Perfection, Dzogchen, or the Dharma teachings of the Middle Way, Madhyamaka, what is taught is going beyond clinging, freeing ourselves from clinging. And so essentially here, we do not want, suffering. In order to go beyond suffering, we must free ourselves from clinging. And so this is really the essence of what we are trying to accomplish. And so this teaching here on the Chuying Zu, we could say the treasury of the Dharmadhatu, the treasury of the basic space of phenomena, the treasury of the expanse of reality. In this teaching, some might think that it, is this high Dzogchen teaching that goes, that's not in conformity with the other sutras and secret mantra teachings, but that's not the case. This teaching also conforms to those teachings. And so the essence of the 84,000 different types of Dharma instructions going beyond clinging and so forth, there is nothing that is not included within that. That includes everything.
Mm-hmm. We are very lucky that these texts translate in English. We know this blue book a while ago, and blue or green, what they call this is blue or green? Blue, okay. And the Tibetans are blue, colorblind, so we don't really know. We know this is a commentary, and we already have this for a while ago, and we didn't really have much time to read the commentary, but we are just looking at the root text. And last teaching, we did chant together Tibetan. There's a PDF file with English from this, not exactly this book, but the shorter root text. And then recently, very recently, come up this text. You may have this already. You know these texts, and so somehow, if I'm sure many of you already read or read this text, the new translation, and of course, if you are not really totally new, you probably know some Dharma terms that are not really suitable or word, or even feels that you should feel that there is good Dharma books and interesting Dharma books. And you can read interesting Dharma books when you go to sleep, but good Dharma books you should read while you are sitting or morning coffee or with practice. I'm not a position to judge anything, the translation, but somehow, even my broken English and don't know English at all, it seems this new translation is quite disappointment. So I don't know. That's what you feel in that way. Then you are in my side. If not, then you're good to go. So that's kind of disappointing. And if you wanted to spend time on these texts, fine. I don't know. But I think in the Tibetans sometimes say,
Yeah. So we instead of the new deity, we prefer the old demon. Tibetans say. So we don't want the new god, we want the old demon.
Yeah. So usually people try to find a new friend, a new companion, and new. They think new. That's kind of God, but usually the old ones probably better. Even you think that's it's whether demon or Mara or some sort of dislike thing. So we use the blue book, and
The old demon.
the old demon is more friendlier than the new God to me, and that's also another thing up to you. And now we are in chapter 10. It's already called meditation. Of course, the meditation everyone knows. Everyone would like to meditate. Everyone think they know what meditation means, and so forth. So meditation is popular and also relevant, and of course, in the Buddhist teachings, without meditation, you cannot attain any higher samadhi or achievement that go through meditation. And pokela da gom majam na tene ngudrob yon top gamari la tene tingen zingi yoden tsoyom kiega mare son te son ro te indu gom jagat pe kechemore ta tangi hyuba na ji gom jam ne otsuk jab de ji go ma yimba tene gom de jab tang she ya de na pe kechembo yinsar te indu gom jab se te gom jab tang ti go.
So it is taught that if we do not meditate, we will not give rise to the accomplishments, the siddhis. We will not attain the siddhis. And likewise, we will not attain the qualities of giving rise to meditative absorption, samadhi. And so when it comes to meditation, it's not that we should just force it and, just through sheer effort, accomplish meditation. But more than that, we need to have an understanding of how to meditate.
Tene tak rotung da ji chebaina tangbo tawik ta chu ne tene gombe nyam salan sa te tawat tawik ta chu go tangbo ta chu ta chu tamji teme juma malam da rendo rong simni le sanji chent mendo sambe ki ti ko jille amne tel ta je ma chu na tene gombe nyam salan sa te ko nyam salan ya gi ngopote tene nyego mares.
So, in this way, the way that we meditate is through first, in this tradition, we gain, a clear resolution, a clear understanding of the view, and then with a decisive, certainty about the view, then we engage in the practice of meditation. And so if we really haven't understood the dreamlike nature of reality, the selfless emptiness of all things, and we try to meditate, then we're not going to really attain the substantial meditation.
Teindu melare bak zongyo chu changdong jing go wo kur kor ni nge bi tong tok de me song re chu changdong sa ya de chang wei tuen ji ngo kur kor ni sa na jun ji me ko ngo tel ngo khor ji ne teni nge bi ki tuen to dam de ma sa tok wei tu su ta ka dun le gum no le gum ma re song re.
So Milarepa taught that if our minds are endlessly spinning around, thinking about the provisional meaning of the Dharma teachings, then we will not gain a certain understanding of the ultimate meaning of the Dharma, essentially.
Yes. Tenet and the provisional meaning or provisional Dharma means what we see, what we engage with, what we are happy with, what we things that get upset us. So that's provisional means, and this definitive meaning of Dharma is the ultimate meaning. In order to realize the ultimate meaning, we need to take this will of the provisional meaning of Dharma. So that is important. And then we can see chapter 1 to chapter 9 is trying to make sense to us that what really the actual meaning of the true reality is, and how these sort of provisional or the conventional truth or the appearances that deceive us in a samsara, which really don't have any basis of entities. So that's pretty much chapter 1 to 9 is sort of establishing that view, again that view to understand what reality is. These Buddhist teachings trying to introduce that only reality can solve problem. Not only the reality, but understanding of reality is solving the problem. So samsara itself is just mistake or illusion or delusional thing, and due to this, then we have these, whether we call 3 poisons or 5 poisons and so forth, arise from we believe that things exist out there, yeah. So that's a thing. So that's if many of you, I think, spent time with us in the past almost 2 or 3 years, and now we are here. So you should have sort of solid understanding of the reality. And now we are in a meditation, and here one thing maybe before we just go into not a pukila gom se jinto tingin zin se jinto zamten se jinto the ti som de jerthong gom dan revi ki gom dan revi ki chutsek jirwa chuksek. And so inchi ki gnala yewa che toba yina this ndikaps ndana this ke chenpo yusares jerthong namju yina nga so gom se nanda sometimes nanda dingen zi se so jigwan da wich ma to ka imba shira sunga marwa yina ndikaps longchen ba ge so ka imba da tanda ka yubate sunga do te indu and inchi ke tol chege desa ndra segumare tende chene ka che tamna de yagosares.
So in Tibetan we have a few terms, gom, which is often translated as meditation, tingzen or tingzen, which is we could say in English meditative absorption, and in Sanskrit it is samadhi, and this other term called samten, which in English is often called concentration, and in Sanskrit is dhyana. And so these terms in English, a lot of times if we think about, meditation, meditative absorption, concentration, they all sound kind of similar. However, here in the context of Longchenpa's teachings, understanding the difference of these terms and the kind of subtle meaning in this context is really important.
Dhyana is Sanskrit term, we know. And you can see sort of transliteration or phonetic transliteration in Chinese. They call Chan. And in Japan, we have Zen. So that's coming from Dhyana to Chan to Zen. So you can see, but different languages. But the Chinese is not translation. It's a more transliteration. Chan and Zen. And these sort of show that in Chinese, we have this kan xing, look at mind, look at your mind. So somehow Chinese, you don't really need any prepositions in the between. Somehow Tibetan and the English, we have this semlata, look at mind. So it's English, or it's more this realm of English language. Its subject-object duality is more obvious than some cultures. And we need to say meditate on something. But Tibet, we don't need to say on. You can meditate directly, deities or your mind or anything. So these are maybe sometimes important, sometimes maybe not, because if you say, I'm looking at my mind, then mind has become objects and something, someone else is looking. And I meditate on deity, so deity is not you are really bringing in, but you are something projecting something. So these are sometimes important. You can see language kind of mold our understanding, and the gom in the Tibetan literal meaning, it sort of, if we can take as a noun or as a verb, when we take as a verb, it is a sort of action verb. So you are acting kind of actively imagining something. So that's why in a Longchenpa here say, in chapter 10, this token, now we need to use it in English, it's not meditation, it's something. And because something is, it's not, cannot take as a verb, it's dhyana, that's you settle in being and a part of it. It's not really you are kind of imagining or meditating on something. But it's a language also difficult to use as a language that in translating from Sanskrit to Tibetan to English, then maybe the message is not necessarily comes exactly what we want to say, but do you want to clarify anything?
So just to kind of clarify, this is a subtle point in terms of the term of this chapter, which is a key chapter in the Chu Yingzu, the jewel treasure of the expanse of reality, and it's called the meditation chapter, but it's not just this term gom in Tibetan, but it is this term samten.
Sorry, I missed tingin.
Or tingisen.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. It's not the term
Samadhi.
So it's not the term gom, which we normally translate as meditation, but gom can also mean to meditate, to actively meditate. It's a transitive, kind of like verb where we actively meditate. Instead, it is this term samadhi, which in Tibetan is tingesen, which means like meditative absorption. And it's the state of kind of like deeply, getting into meditation. But it's a noun. So it's not an activity, or it's not, an action taken, but it is, referred to this state in a way. So there's a very kind of subtle difference in terms for the name of the chapter.
Yeah, the Longchenpa wanted to say this is not meditation, this is samadhi. So that I wanted to sort of clarify in that part. What does that really mean? Then we need to figure out. Yeah. So that's yes.
I don't really have a question. I was just hoping to repeat for you. So we got dhyana, we got samadhi, and then the third one, my brain is just completely shut down. Can you just, what's that? Concentration. Can you just again repeat, and Eric said it right before you started talking again, and then he started talking. Just, so we got concentration, dhyana, and samadhi. Can you just, again, break those three down into, like, what stages they are?
Right.
Does that make sense? Like, which one's concentration, meditation, absorption, and then meditation?
Okay, so is it?
Yeah, it's not really. Except this chapter 10 commentary. Usually they don't separate these things. But when we use dhyana, sometimes what they call meditative absorption, something.
Something concentration, maybe. Or that's a common translation.
That's interesting. There is a very vivid kind of cute story from Buddha. They think that is kind of a direct kind of experience, and also maybe first count what Buddha really messaging us. That he said when he was a young boy, he was sitting under a tree, and his father was plowing the field, and he suddenly has this feeling of sort of realization, enlightenment, and so forth. He thinks that is the first dhyana. First dhyana means, then it's become sort of complicated. These dhyanas, you say absorptions?
In English, some of the terms are maybe concentration. In English, like Khenpo was saying, some of the terms.
Yeah, sometimes they use the meditative stabilities or meditative absorptions, and whatever they say. Maybe we use dhyana. It's the original one. So these meditative absorption or stability or whatever we call the mental state that has tranquility and also peace and also stable. That mental state we can attain in our desire realm. These mental states also describe these God realms. God realms, we have four somethings, the four dhyana realms. And these four dhyanas we call first, second, third, and fourth. Suppose the fourth one is the most stable and also most most advanced one. And I'm just kind of trying to retelling this story when he was a child boy. He felt that kind of stability, tranquility, and even the mental state. He described that as a first dhyana. So we could use dhyana as more like a result. Meditation is more like a cause to gain that state. Yeah.
So maybe also just to clarify your original question, just to kind of like, so for these three terms that Khenpo was using, the first in Tibetan is Gompa, and
in Sanskrit it's a bhavana.
Bhavana, 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 and that means kind of to meditate, like the actual act of meditation, to do meditation. And then there is Tingezin, which is samadhi in Sanskrit, and that's kind of like the name of this chapter, which can be translated like as meditative absorption.
Not really name of the text, the name of the chapter. However, when we use view meditation fruit, we always use Tawa Gumba Juba. Gumba is always described. But Longchenpa wants to say this meditation is not that kind of meditation. This meditation is the samadhi, not the bhavana.
Okay.
He's not saying, I don't think we can use this title as a Dingensen.
Okay, sorry.
But he's clarifies that there is difference between that. Generally, we can say meditation, that's, I think, safe.
So here is a subtle point. Excuse me, I'm trying to follow too. So the context of this particular 10th chapter, it is part of we have this trilogy of this three-part, thing that includes the view, tawa, the gompa, the meditation, and the chupa, the conduct or the action. And here, though, Longchenpa is saying that the gompa, the meditation, the bhavana, isn't just, what we normally might think of is, meditation in relationship to the term gompa, which is an activity, but the deeper meaning of this is that it is this state of samadhi. So the meaning of gompa here is Tingezin. The meaning of meditation here is samadhi, meditative absorption. And then the third term is samten, which, as a side note, is one of the 6 paramitas. It is the 5th of the 6 paramitas for some context. So this samten in Sanskrit is dhyana, the same term for chan in Chinese, zen in Japanese. And that can be sort of a worldly, concentration that gods attain. So it doesn't necessarily mean enlightened concentration. When the Buddha was young, he attained, an initial stage of dhyana concentration. And so here these terms have some kind of subtle context and meaning. Even though in English it's like meditation, meditative absorption, concentration, they all kind of are similar.
Yeah. And I'm also saying that when Tibetan Gom Bhavana, it has active action verb that's using, you are meditate on something and so forth. And then when it comes to samadhi, it's a state of your mind mainly describing the state of your mind, which is calm and tranquility and sharpness. It's a complicated way of describe here. Maybe we are wasting time, maybe not, but there is 9 dhyanas here. 9 dhyana means in our busy, kind of hectic desire realm, we can achieve a stable mind. That is the lowest stable mind we can achieve. And then we go to, we are still here physically, but we can achieve the level of stableness, samadhi, dhyana, what usually, naturally, those born in God realms have. That's why the first Buddha experienced. And then we can go up all the way to 4th dhyana, which is the highest and the best stable one. We can achieve that as well. But we could go beyond that to these formless realms, dhyanas. That is sort of too indifferentiated, so it's you would not have very clear mind. It's become obstacle again if you go too deep. But our minds need to achieve stable sharpness, tranquility, that suitable for focusing on any meditation. So that state we can achieve. And here, that is the result, the meditation, and between that we call some Ding and Zin. So Ding and Zin is used here to sort of less active verb. It's not really forcefully or engaging with objects and so forth, but it has more naturally settling meditation. We still need to use meditation, I guess, in English somehow. Yeah. So we are now in chapter 10. I don't know where we stop. Do you have Lincoln?
So the conservative is on page 95. I have it as 97, but wherever you want to jump in is good.
95.
I think at the top of page 97.
Yeah, I have it as the second paragraph, which starts with, what is it, Jung Ye, I think.
Yeshi.
Yeshi.
The
Okay.
Gupshugo.
Should we read together? Maybe most of you don't have, but online there's a PDF file. It's kind of...
So, in Richard Barron Shokinima's translation, that's called the title is called "The Precious Treasury of the Basic Space of Phenomena." We are on page 97 in the small blue book. And in Tibetan, it's page 96. And so the paragraph that's called, since naturally occurring timeless awareness is without limitation or bias.
Yes, that's right. And of course, online, people wanted to follow the Tibetan. I read Tibetan, and then you can maybe read in English. Maybe we read the whole page. It's easy, then people can follow. And start with this sense naturally occurring. Rongyung Yeshi Chodong Rime Ben De Shemen Zong Rongyung Zhugun She Tewe Yi La She Ba Nam Bang De She Rayong Ba Shen Bu Tong La La Chuni Nya Je Rongyung Yeshi De Tawa Nya Je Zhu Ben Ta Dang Cha Kumbanya je dongyang zhong me ju banya je longdur ninsi dewa nya je bong tong nin dang zhan den rong yang lon zho gong ba non se nu chun kor tong nyang en de chu so jo gun chu nin do ming Rang yun yi yi ni le ma yu be gong ya shi xia gong ba shi ba ra xia na co yer de nong wi chu nam la gong de xi da ran jiu ji me do ba rang wa zhong wo de zhar bar lun ji xiu.
So then, in English, it is, since naturally occurring timeless awareness is without limitation or bias, it cannot be characterized as something, for all elaboration naturally subsides. Therefore, give up creating more concepts. Train in the ultimate meaning of supreme spaciousness, free of any foundation. The unique nature of phenomena is naturally occurring timeless awareness. The unique view is freedom from the limitations of elaboration. In the unique meditation, nothing is discarded or adopted. Nothing comes or goes. In the unique conduct, there is no duality of acceptance and rejection. The unique fruition is free of the duality of renunciation and attainment. This is the enlightened intent of naturally occurring spontaneous presence. The true nature of all phenomena in their entirety, the universe of appearances and possibilities, whether of samsara or nirvana, is the primordial state. Since it does not stray from naturally occurring timeless awareness itself, understand it to be enlightened intent, with everything at rest in the ground of being. Concerning phenomena that manifest as myriad sense objects, without thinking in any way, this is how to rest. Rest spontaneously in a naturally settled state, free of the proliferation and resolution of thoughts.
Yeah, right before that verse on page 95, somehow this verse is, I think, important, and I try to read both translations, and is somehow my English and maybe their Tibetan are similar level. so so both didn't work well. So I mess up a little bit with the verse and share with our dear friends, but of course this didn't really make any better or worse. That doesn't really matter. But somehow you can see this verse is really important. And we read this again in English, maybe. Could you read on chapter 95, last paragraph?
So we're last paragraph, page 95. If you maintain an undistracted state within the uncontrived expanse of being, even engaging in thoughts concerning sense objects is within the scope of the true nature of phenomena. As for that true nature, it is non-conceptual and as spacious as the sky. But if you try to contrive it deliberately and compulsively, it becomes a cage of characteristics. Though you may spend day and night in such meditation, that is the bondage of fixation, pure and simple. The victorious one stated that it resembles the meditative stability of the gods.
So here, Sims also Longchenpa point out that the meditation is a problem. Should not meditate. Do some samadhis, meditative observations, rather than actively engaging something on. And I don't know, should we read this translation to see the taste of what is the number?
Let's see.
Do you have?
Can somebody, Lincoln, can you look up that verse?
Yeah, it's here.
Oh, it's here? Which one is it? Tambo Nipa?
The last one.
Sumpa?
What is the number?
Oh, this is Karanki.
No, this is this one.
Okay, the third. Let's see. In the
I think page 49. 49. No, 48 to 9. I guess. Yes,
so,
that's
okay.
48 to 9.
Is it? It's in the unaltered profound expanse. Is it? You see it?
It's the very bottom of page 48, the very last.
Page 48.
48 to 9, yeah.
So another translation, just for reference, I'll just read
It's the
it.
same Tibetan. It's,
So this is all the same Tibetan, another translation.
yeah.
So this is, in the unaltered profound expanse, once stability to remain without distraction is accomplished, even engaging with the objects of recollection is Dharmadhatu. If adjusted through intentional entanglement, even the Dharmadhatu, that is non-conceptual, open spaciousness becomes the weaving of conceptualization. Although meditating day and night, that only amounts to fixation and attachment. Buddha taught that this resembles the gods of concentration. And then, further, if we go further, it says, rather than that, without distraction, with the mind released from effort, it is extremely important to naturally rest beyond effort-based fixation.
Without looking at Tibetan, you don't really feel, but the language, you should feel that little bit there. And then, of course, I have something, but now I don't have it.
Oh, do you want to, I have yours.
Yeah, okay.
The tumble?
Yes, Tom.
Yeah. So, if this is Khenpo Yeshi's translation of this same material. So,
You need to say, listen carefully.
okay. Listen.
Please listen carefully.
This is Khenpo Yeshi's
Yeah,
translation.
exactly.
Everybody listen up. In the realm of the unaltered matrix, when an undistracted natural flow is present, even engaging thoughts with their objects is the natural flow of reality. If deliberately and compulsively adjusting this flow, even seeing reality as a non-conceptual, open, like space, is a trap of defining characteristics. Even though spending day and night in meditation, such practice becomes pure bondage and fixation. As the Buddha stated, this resembles the gods of meditative stability. Therefore, one's mind must remain effortless and undistracted, resting with the natural flow beyond fixation and effort. It is extremely crucial.
See? So here we have something like the meditative stability of God.
Mm-hmm.
So early we talk about what we have there in English.
Other translations?
These texts. Oh yeah, the meditative stability of the gods. What do you know? Do you know what does that mean? This could be any one of them, yeah.
It is in Nalpur. It's still in samsara.
Yes, and if we can achieve a supporter for the practice, our mind, we can achieve that level. But that is not the our goal. And 37 Bodhisattva practice, what they say, Sumi Hili Yangdang Debaye, something Gumba Jersi Langling. So meditative stability beyond four formless realm is very important, yeah. They say beyond. You can wrap that part maybe, if you can.
To wrap.
Beyond the four.
Okay.
Four formless.
So then, in the 37 Bodhisattva practices, there are, instructions on the 6 paramitas. And so, verse 29 of the 37
are doing this kind of meditation day and night, that will not lead us anywhere. But if we can discussion this, because either whoever's translation is making sense to you, here our book says, if you maintain undistracted state within uncontrived experience of being, so that's how samadhi should take place. The meditation is not working, and samadhi should be replaced the meditation. So that's sort of his main message, and then we are going a little bit fast from here, and then we can look at the 97 third verse. And we all, most of areas we know. Here we have this ground, view, meditation, conduct, and result, yeah? That usually packed, either we call this kind of roadmap or kind of whole Buddhist teachings. Either we are talking about the ground, which is the reality, or whether we are talking about our view or our understanding or our belief system or our assertion, or what kind of meditation we do and what kind of conduct we need to care about and what kind of fruition or result will gain. Te indu da chuni nya ji rang jung yi shi chuni nya ji se de xi la de ne la bu yo wa xi da xi se du ne lu ge ten ta la ko yo te la ta wi ge to ko ta wi ge to bi ka se chuni ta wi ge to ba la zhu bian ta tam ji dang cha ba yin ba ji to ko ta zhu bian ta sen na yo ba me ba ni ga ni mi la so bi tin de ge zhu bi ta dang cha ba ji to te to ba te ne gum be gi nyam slan lang ko re so.
So then, if we go back, we're on page 97. So the kind of in the third paragraph there, the unique nature of phenomena is naturally occurring timeless awareness. The unique view is freedom from the limitations of elaboration. And so here, when it talks about so it's saying the unique nature of reality is self-arisen primordial awareness. Translated here also as timeless awareness. And so this is the nature of how, things truly are. This is the ground of all reality. And so then we could say the unique view is going beyond all extremes of elaboration. And so realizing this unique view, this goes beyond the extremes of existing, non-existing, both, or neither.
And here, I think our translation is interesting. The Gomba Nyajik Danyang Rome. This meditation is this Tibetan term. We see what in here is look like this. Both English translation is not really reflecting the Tibetan. Tibetan Dang means you can release or you can send or you can another understanding of in the Tibetan Dharma realm and in the West it's a little bit different because the Tibetans they use the verb that you can send your mind out. And of course, we know Poa and other stuff. But in the West, mind cannot really depart from body. Somehow, culturally, that's not really working well. And here, the Tibetan verb dang. Dang means you can release, often Tibetans use livestock, you can ascend to mountains grazing. That means tang. So when you meditate, either you sending your mind to the objects, or you are kind of bring back or resting. But both in English translation here, our blue book says discarded. It's not discarding. You cannot discard your mind. That's what you have here. If you discard your mind, then you are dead. And adopted is also another. I don't think it's a good translation. Xiak means settled. So Dang Xia often used to describe a mind in the Tibet. And once when we do shamatha meditation and vipassana meditations, the purpose of shamatha meditation is sim dang ro xiak ndo la rawang toba ye. Sim par dang go na dang toba, xiak ba na xiak toba, sim ro go na ro toba. Tendri gi chi to la, and shine to kum go res. Shine gom ne sim dang ro xiang do la rawang toba sir. Xiak. Dang. Ro.
On.
Here. See.
Yeah. How close?
Dang, xiak, ro, wong.
How close?
Similar. Okay, chala we ora. Gom jabdu nga chu sem te tende mayin ba ko gores. Pa dang xiak ba mayin ba. Xiak ba mayin ba. Ro wa dang wong me ba. Tende ji ko gores ne. Sem chi ko nga chu English translation.
So, according to Khenpo, the line here, just for those that know Tibetan, is Gompa Nyakchik Tang Shak Dro On Me. And so, Lama Choki Nyima, Richard Barron has it translated, is in the unique meditation, nothing is discarded or adopted. Nothing.
Did you say Chunyamar Buchi?
Lama Choki Nyima.
Oh, yes.
That's Richard Barron.
Yes, his name.
Yeah, not Choki Nyima.
Oh, no.
No. Not Choka Organ Sign.
Yeah, no.
So nothing is discarded or adopted, nothing comes or goes. So Khenpo Yeshi has a different interpretation. Also the
Correct interpretation.
Khenpo Yeshi's correct interpretation as is the meaning here is that for unique meditation, there is no tang, shat, dro, or ong. So tang means to send out. It's like literally the Khenpo was saying this all in English. So tang is to send out, shak is to rest. So this is referring to sending the mind out, like sending the mind out. Or shak, to rest the mind. Dro means to go, for the mind to go. Or ong means for the mind to come. So there's no sending out, resting, going, or coming. Or we could say coming or going. And so for the unique state of meditation, there's no sending the mind out, resting, coming or going. And so the sending the mind out, the resting, the coming and going, these are ways that we can bring the mind to rest in the tradition of calm abiding in what is known as shamatha in Sanskrit. But they are not part of the unique meditation of the Great Perfection or Dzogchen. So in the Dzogchen, the unique meditation of Dzogchen, there's no sending out the mind, no resting the mind back here. So we don't send the mind out there, we don't rest the mind back here. The mind doesn't come, the mind doesn't, go.
Mm-hmm. How about our new
Light of Barrett-san.
new God?
The latest and greatest deity translation of this text says the sole essence of meditation is without preventing or inviting coming or going. What?
That seems very different, preventing or inviting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's called wrong. There's always have right and wrong. There's gray areas, but we also should know there's a right and wrong too. Yeah. So that is our soul meditation. Soul meditation. So, how many minutes do we have?
So,
A few minutes. Just sit and should not do these 4 things when we meditate. These meditation. This is not shamatha, we know. We can call shamatha sometimes, but it's not really. Sending means your mind is not chasing the object. Resting means you are not bring your mind back to come. And then coming and going means there should not have any activities, yeah. So that's it. I know you want to meditate forever, but somehow maybe we can stop here now and for refill our whatever we need, and then resume at 2 o'clock. If you have time, please come back. If not, don't worry, you already got the summary of this book and so forth. So I think that's important verse, this few, but we will not have time to go through all the translations, but there's few important things. And so mainly, usually we meditate, we manipulate or we control our mind. As soon as we control our mind, means we're using force. That is not nature. And so that's give resist, and that force clash with our own effort to calm our mind, and that force bounce back to that. That's why this meditation is sort of beyond. You are not focusing objects outwardly, and you are also not trying to pacify your mind, resting, and coming, going. These kind of activities are not interfering our nature of our mind. We can just get more and practice more, and also all of you already know maybe my methods of my teacher's methods. If not, I can repeat again and again. That's what I do. So, and if you are not afraid of open mind and eye, it may be more beneficial. If you are not comfortable with open eye meditation, then I guess need to close eye. So, okay. Yes.
Page 24 in the prayer book. At the bottom. By the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Trigumpa Ratneshri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation, until the end of samsara. Come back at 2?
What?
Come back at 2?
2, I guess so. Do you have some announcements? Okay.
Just wanted to say a couple of things to everyone online, everybody here. So thank you first and foremost to Khenpo Yeshi for being here, and Eric also for translating. Just a couple of announcements. We'll be going through the next 4 days, and the hope is that Khenpo Yeshi can finish the text. And so that'll be every day until Sunday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and a two-hour break, and then 2 to 5 with a tea break in between. If you have yet to register for the retreat, please see Irina, at least today. Irina will be doing it, I think, probably for the next couple of days too, right? Yeah, and if you'd like to help out at all, if you want to do work study, or if you just want to give a hand, you can see Jasna here. She can give you some things to do and direct your energy. Other than that, we have beautiful space that you guys can enjoy and relax, and we'll see you at 2 o'clock. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That. So it looks like one of our Sangha members is making lunch for everybody. So if you're hungry, please proceed to the Sangha house. Is that right, Beverly? Yeah? All right. Thank you.
What's that? Yes. Yourself? Yeah. We might still be on the thing, so.
What's that?
We might still be on the.
It wouldn't change what I said.
No, I know. I was just saying, like, before.
It's always good to move. Maybe if Khenpo asked, maybe we can let go of this market that the translation is poor. And write down into something that's not really as good as what he wrote or what we already have, you know?